No. The webinar is now being recorded. Guys, so pretty much on this call, we're going to talk about exactly what it takes to hit a six-figure income in this industry. And not only that, how to balance out, because we're different from other companies, right? To balance out both skill set, trading, and building, right? The person that I'm going to bring up to speak, understand that he was once a stranger. And now he's like the saying always say, right? Strangers will believe in you more than your own friends and family. And this is a perfect example of pretty much somebody who believed in what I had going on and put faith on it, right? So he's a very good friend. He's not only a chairman, right? He's going to hit Chairman 25 very soon. Chairman 50 and Chairman 100, right? He's also a swipe trader, right? So understand that this person is doing both parts, right? So I just want him to come into this call and give you, pretty much his story and let you guys know, like, pretty much what his journey was, his experiences, and how you guys can learn from his mistakes. So, Ricky, are you there? Ricky.
My video can't start.
Yeah, I got it in mind. Boom.
I'm here.
Start your video.
Still does not let me.
Try it now, Ricky. Wait. Raise your hand again, Ricky. Sorry, I think I promoted him to attendee. Promote to panelist. Boom. Unmute. Ricky. Hold on.
But my video still does not let me. Maybe you can try doing it for.
All right.
There we go. All right. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you. Everything ready, Darwin?
Yeah.
All right. All right. How's it going, everybody? Pleasure to be speaking to you guys. Welcome tonight to the 7-Figure Mentorship Call. Right now, we're live all the way from El Paso, Texas. So everybody from the 915, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything. And man, what an honor to be on here, Mr. Darwin Lopez. Thank you so much for letting me have the pleasure to be on this call for a good 10, 15 minutes. I won't be taking too much of your time, but I do want to share certain things with you guys, to kind of break these mental barriers. And so you guys could see somebody that, started just like you did, if not in a worse position, and has really been able to crank numbers doing this, and has really been able to, do some pretty awesome things with this. So let's get this going. Pleasure, everybody. My name is Ricky Valdez. I'm 25 years old. Currently, right now, I am a Chairman 10 of this beautiful company called iMarkets Live, and very close to Chairman 25, right? But the interesting thing about me is that I am also a swipe trader, right? So I do both at the same time, and it's an honor, it's a privilege. Mr. Christopher Terry, I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much. And so I do both. So I get asked the question all the time, how do you do it? How do you reach a level like that? But before I get into that, I just want to share a little bit about myself. You see, 2-3 years ago, I've been a part of iMarkets Live for 2 years. So it took me 2 years to rise to a chairman level and to a swipe trades level. And prior to this, I did not even know what trading was. But I used to be a server at Dave & Buster's, right? So 3 years, I was serving tables at Dave & Buster's, and I was content with about a good $75 to $100 in a day. And you see, the thing about my city is that yearly annual income is about $20,000 to $30,000, right? And at 40,000, 20,000, 40,000, somewhere around there. And so for me, making $100 in a day, I was like, all right, this is okay. At least I can pay my bills. But I knew that I wanted more in life. And so I went reaching out. I went reaching out for somebody, for a mentor. and I saw the concept of trading, and it just made sense. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience as to how I really started to believe that trading really did work out. I was online one day, and I got shared a link just like you have today. And it was a link, and I did not know anybody in that webinar. There was a random person that said, hey, if you want to make money, get on this webinar. I was like, okay, I didn't know it was trading. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know nothing about that. But in that webinar, I saw Mr. Darwin Lopez. That was the first time that I actually saw him. Now, in that webinar, I saw him, and this was back in the day. This was 3 years ago, and I saw somebody that was the same age as me that spoke a different, like in the same way, but different from what people say. Normally when you hear of people making an amazing income, you normally hear, you normally see them wearing nice suit and tie. You hear them speak very proper. But there was something interesting about Mr. Darwin Lopez, that he was the same age as I was. And I was like, this guy is speaking this way, using this slang. And people were speaking about him. It was all this camaraderie on the webinar. And they were trading NFP, the news event, for those of you guys don't know. And for the first time, I saw somebody from the comfort of their home, without having to sell, without having to recruit, without having to convince anybody, wearing chains, looking like they're straight from the hood. I saw that person clear, not to say any income claims, but I saw that person make a comma in one day. And I was completely surprised, because I was like, wow, this person did it straight from their phone. And the funny thing about it is that there was 50 other people on that same webinar, and all he did was say, sell this. And everybody won. And I had never experienced that in my life. And that was my first, that's when I first got introduced to what successful trading Forex was, making money in the market, like actually somebody really making money right in front of me, right? So, I'm from a small city down all the way in the South, El Paso, Texas. And I take care of my mom. I take care of my grandma, my little sister. That's my reason why. That's who I do this for. So just knowing that somebody like me serving tables, now a Chairman 10, about to be Chairman 25 very soon, I can guarantee you in a month, you're going to see the update in a month. So knowing that somebody like me used to be a server, small beginnings, humble person, just know that your next leader, the next person that could be your chairman, the next person that could be your next swipe trader with a company, you don't have to look at these big places. You don't have to look for these crazy successful people. Anybody and everybody can win in this. It's not what you see on the outside. It's about what's on the inside, right? Because me, I'm a fighter, and people ask me, what kept you going? What kept you going, right? So for me, first and foremost, was my family. You see, I saw my mom work 2 jobs. I saw my grandma work 2 jobs, get fired, go into another job, always making a sacrifice. I was actually raised in Mexico. I was born in the United States, but the first 12 years of my life, I was raised in Mexico. So things are way different down there. But I saw my family struggle, all my family. There's very few people in my family that have actually graduated. There's like nobody in my family that has made a 6-digit income, right? And so for me, it was my family. First thing first is I saw the opportunity to not only change my own life, not only change my family's life, but to completely change my generational tree, to completely change the structure of how our ancestors did things. That was first things first. So when they asked me, what kept me going, is the fact that I didn't just think about me. I didn't just think about my family. I said, what about my kids? What about my grandchildren? What about my kids' children? Because if I don't do anything about this right now, my generational tree is going to stay the same forever. And so they asked me, what kept you going when things got tough? I'm like, how could I quit? How could I stop? If I knew for a fact that all I had to do was follow what our leaders said, plug into the system, plug into the education, and I knew that I would be successful, ultimately changing my family tree, how could I quit? How could I stop? So that was what truly kept me going. But things have changed now. I came to realize that it's much bigger than just me. It's much bigger than just my generational structure. That is actually very important. But then I realized, what about my city? What about the people that are from the same place that I'm from? What about the people that grew up the same way that I grew up? This is my chance to not only change my generational structure, but what about theirs, right? So I realized that somebody needed to see me win so that they could believe in themselves. I realized that my city needed to see somebody like me win, somebody from the bottom. They needed to see me win so that they could believe in themselves. That's really what truly kept me going after it was just not about me anymore, right? So your next person, your next leader, don't be so worried about getting these people that make a high income started. Your leader can come in any shape, any gender, from the smallest beginnings, because it's not what you see on the outside, is what you really see on the inside, right? But I'm going to give you guys a key. If there was one thing, if there was really one thing that really kept me going, it was Mr. Darwin Lopez, right? And there's a reason why he's at where he's at, because me, myself, yes, I work hard. Yes, I'm very effective with my work. Yes, I got down the skill set of trading. But for me, it was much more deeper than that. You see, growing up, I didn't have anybody. Growing up, I didn't really have many friends. Growing up, my family was always negative. Growing up, my family was never really there. We were always just alone. I was always alone for the most part. And so for me, what really kept me going was when times got tough, was the friendship that was developed, right? And so I'm going to give you a nugget right here, and I hope everybody's taking notes. The way that you build your team, it's like if you're building a family. In my team, I'm big bro. In my team, I'm little bro. In my team, I'm a father figure. In my team, I'm an uncle. In my team, in my team, I'm a nephew. In my team, I got a few parents. In my team, I got multiple moms and multiple dads, and I got aunts and uncles. In this business, you see, I don't build my business treating people like a number. I say, I'm looking for my next uncle. I'm looking for my next little bro. And how can I impact them? And so I build my team like I build my family. If you truly, this is on the chairman side, if you truly want to be a chairman, build your team like if you're recruiting for family members and treat them like a family member. Because Mr. Darwin Lopez, that's one thing that I commend him always. He treated me like if I was literally his little brother. He called me all the time. He said, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Literally things that my family wouldn't even do. My friends wouldn't even do for me. My family don't call me every day. My friends didn't even call me every day. And here I had a complete stranger calling me almost every day, checking up on me. And the conversation was never, oh, are you recruiting? The conversation was never, oh, this numbers. Oh, the conversation was never, how much money did you make? The conversation was, how are you feeling? How are you doing today? The things that really matter. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to let you guys know. Build your team like you build your family, because your leaders already in this business, right? You're going to talk to new people every day. But one thing that most people don't have is that family environment, right? So before I pass it off to Mr. Darwin Lopez, I'm going to share just a couple of things. Combining trading and building. You see, the markets move impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. And the market moves in waves, okay? The market is predictable. People are predictable. Even though all of the masses of people can't agree on what to do, right? The market somehow, some way has a way to move impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. So the market is always moving up. It's always moving back down. It's always moving up. It's always moving back down. The market doesn't forever move up, and the market doesn't forever move down. But let me share with you a couple of things. When you're moving forward, when you're moving up, that's when you're learning very little. It's actually when the corrections come. When your life is impulsing, when your life is moving up, you're not learning much. But when the corrections happen in life, that's when you start learning the most. So it's when the corrections come that you learn the most. So people tell me, what about the ups? What about the downs? How did you deal with the downs? Right? They say, oh, when you're up, you're up. But what about when the downs? I say, you have to learn how you have to change your perspective on certain things, because the corrections, the losses in life, that's the perfect opportunity for you to win. That's the perfect opportunity for you to see and reevaluate how to do things a different way, right? When you're down, when the correction comes into your life, that's the greatest learning experience. So life isn't completely moving up. We learn at the corrections. And if you just learn how to develop this, you just develop, right? And develop the strength and the ability to learn the lesson, right? This is why I believe, this is where I believe that this is God's way of teaching us, knowing how to do things so that we can move away. So isn't it amazing that God has a plan for everybody? But this is just how the business works. This is how life works. Impulse correction, up, down, up, down. And let me tell you the key. The key to this business is when you develop unity and loyalty, dependability, and predictability within your team, right? When the times are bad, you need some friends. Why not build your team like you build your family, right? I think that the greatest treasure, if you really want to go chairman, if you really want to create abundance, right, is to go out and build your team like they're truly a part of your family. Once you do things that way, you'll literally just look back and say, wow, I am 130, blessing 130 people from going Chairman 25. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I hope that I was able to say something today that caused you to have a breakthrough. Thank you for having me on. I love iMarkets Live. Trading is one of the best ways to make income. Back to Mr. Darwin Lopez. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me. About to get Chairman 100 done less than a month from now. So I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Let's get it. Appreciate you, Ricky, for hopping on this call. As you can see, Ricky, like, understand, guys, Ricky, when I met him, he was busting tables at Dave & Buster's. He didn't know how to trade. He was making less than, I think, $2,000 a month, way less than that. And understand that if you don't know better, you won't do better. And if you don't know that there's more out there, you don't know what you don't know. So if you don't really know what's out there for you, you don't know that that's even possible. And when I painted him the vision and I showed him it was possible, because understand, right? We at iMarkets Live, we're a trading educational company, right? You guys need to learn how to trade, right? Because if you get good at the skill set, everything else is cash, is just flow. Right? Because what if somebody asks you a trading question and you can't, and you have like 4 or 5 months in and you can't answer it? They're like, damn, I don't want to be 4 or 5 months in and not know anything, right? Because it takes about, I say, 3 weeks to maybe 6 weeks to go through the academy, depending on how many videos you're pretty much knocking off each day. But understand that you also got to hop on IML TV. Right, so not Dave & Buster's. Ricky, he was working at Dave & Buster's. He messaged me on Facebook. I met Ricky through Facebook, through a Facebook message. All right, understand, it was a Facebook, so I met him online. Like he, thank God he, it was right next to Mexico, and it wasn't like I was going over there to die. But it was all blessings, because when you have good intentions, the results is always good. Right? So understand that trading always came first. And the reason why trading came first is because if you're trying to bring in these customers, if you're trying to build this culture, right, you got to be the first one that they look up to in trading. You got to be the first one that they see make some money trading, making some income trading. Right? And you don't have to trade every day in order to make some good income trading. You could trade twice, 4 times a week, 2 to 4 times a week, right? You can follow swipe trades all day and be consistent at it, right? Use the product. You guys want to hit Chairman, be a product of the product. Like, you guys want to, like, use the products. Like, who here, has swipe trades on their phone, right? Who here is actually taking the swipe trades when you guys are saying it takes 2 minutes to take, or a minute? Why aren't you taking that minute to place? It doesn't have to be a standard. It could be a 0.10. As long as you show the consistency, separate the account. Use one for swipe trade and one for yourself, and see how consistent the service is. That way you have something to show people, right? And trading, understand, when you guys are trading and building, right, you guys gotta at least know the trading part. So when you study to build, the only way you're gonna become a better trader is if you start building. So it's crazy how it works like this, right? Because when you guys are, I don't even know what swipe trade is. So you gotta get swipe trades, swipe coin, these are pretty much trades that you guys can be making income with. You guys can be compounding your account with, right? And understand when you guys are trading, you guys are gonna want to stay up all night. You guys are gonna want to be. I'm staying on all night long, trading the whole London U.S. session. Your body's not trained for that because you have a job, and a lot of people have jobs out there. And you guys got to balance both, right? You guys can't trade all night and day. You guys can't build all night and day. You guys are in the process of leaving your job so you can do this full time, right? And when you're doing both aspects, understand that what's your daily routine. I'm gonna give you exactly my daily routine, right? So I'm glad that it was asked because it was coming anyways. My daily routine consists of both trading and building, right? So write this down on your notes like right now, right? Every day, I listen to an hour or two of personal development, right? That's number one. Number two, I study for about an hour and study trading, right? Meaning IMLTV, you're getting on, right? Webinars that your team is doing, you're getting on, right? That's only about 2 to 3 hours of your day, right? Every day I work on my social media. Social media takes about 5 minutes, if that, 10 minutes responding to people, right? After that, right, understand that if you're not out there, right, this is like right, building and trading, to me, I treat it like a sport because most traders fail because they don't trade long enough. And you end up being a failure because you didn't keep the process going until you hit your goal, right? So if you're not out there contacting people, reaching out to people, your business is not going to grow. People are not going to know what you're doing, right? So expose two people, they have two conversations, right? Have two conversations with strangers, right? Get to know them, see what they do for a living, see where they're from, see, what are their goals, right? And then whatever their goal is, you're able to teach them how to get there because most of it, 95% of people's problem is just lack of money, lack of cash of money. You guys have people's solution. So if you guys posture up and you guys understand that you are a direct, like, it is up to you. It's your responsibility, right, to share with other people because people are making income. People need this more than you need it, right? And once you change your mindset to that, everybody to you is a life change because you never know what this platform is going to do to that person. Like, think about this. What if I would have never joined IML? What if I would have never spoke to Ricky? Ricky wouldn't be trading right now. Ricky wouldn't be a six-figure earner. Ricky is the first six-figure earner in his family. He's going to be the first seven-figure earner in his family, right? Be the first to be that. Don't be the first to cop out on the new iPhone. Don't be the first to cop out on a new car. Don't be the first to cop out on the new Jordans. Be the first 6-7-figure earner in your family, 8-figure earner, right? We're building the business. Like, you guys gotta understand that, like, if you guys want to be wealthy, you have to be obsessed, right? You gotta be obsessed with what you're doing and just, like, other people's gonna have opinion. Is what do you believe about you, right? What do you believe about you, right? And for those of you who want to follow me on Instagram, I just put it in the chat, right? And then I'll put Ricky's Instagram in the chat, right? What do you believe about you, right? Like, how do you see how you see yourself is how the world sees you. So you got to see yourself as a chairman. You got to see yourself as a 7, 8, 9-figure earner, right? Even if you aren't there yet, you got to just believe, right? And you got to act as if you already have it. So how you see the world is how you see yourself. right? And for things to change, you have to change. You have to really take this serious. You really got to take this to as pretty much, for example, like if this is a sport and you have so much to catch up on, right? Baseball players, they get, if you're, all right, 30% is all story numbers. If you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, it's all story numbers. They fail more than they succeed. That means they have mental toughness, right? So for things to change, you got to change, right? And people will be afraid. Understand, if you know where you're going, right? If you be like, yo, this is where I'm going. I'm heading Chairman with or without you. You're my boy. I'm trying to get you there. If you just know where you're going, right? People will be afraid not to follow you. People will be afraid not to follow you when you know where you're going. So if you know where you're going, people will be afraid not to follow you. Right? Write that down. You have to know where you're going, right? And understand that if you don't go crazy for your own dreams, why should other people go crazy? Right? Why should other people go crazy when you don't go crazy for your own dreams? Right? Be humble, right? Ego is always the enemy. Remember that. Build the image. I keep talking about it. It's always about who you are. Right? Because if you're promoting trading out there, right? If your Instagram or your social media says trading and you can't even teach them the basics on trading, like you're not really promoting yourself good. Right? So be the person that you are promoting yourself to be. All right. One more thing I want to speak about, a few more things actually, because we have like 30 minutes left. And I want to give you guys, like I wrote down a list of things to tell you guys right here. Right. So when you guys are building this business, you guys got to have a certain posture, right? People will call this a scam. People will be like, it doesn't work. I'm like, only if you knew, because people don't understand trading. So only if you knew you can really make money trading and understand that trading really, really, really works, because it does, right? Your attitude would be different. Like, that's why I tell people, yo, trade, get some results. It doesn't have to be crazy results, but if you start getting consistent withdrawals, right? You get your first withdrawal, that second one is coming, that third one is coming, that fourth one is coming. Right? Now you're making extra money, right? One thing that helped me trade is write your bills down, right? So everybody, write your bills down. Write how much it costs, right? You start at, you leave it like that, right? And then you write how many pips do you need to catch to pay your bills, right? How many pips you need to catch to pay your cell phone bill? If I throw a 0.10, my cell phone bill is 100, I got to catch 100 pips. Whether you do 100 in one shot, depending on your setup that you have, either it's 100 pip, 50 pip, right? On the strike trade, you can calculate exactly how many pips it is, right? And you be like, I bet. So I'm going to lay out my bills, and I'm going to pay my bills with the trades that Swipe Trade or Swipe Point is sending me, all right? And then you get on IMO TV, and they're catching pips, right? So understand that your attitude is everything. You got to bring your belief level higher. You got to believe much sooner, much faster, because everybody who's on this call, it's almost 1,000 people on this call, understand that, like, it works. It's not like we're trying to do this. No, it's already been done, and we're just copying what they did so we can get to where they're at, right? Because when I met Matt and Jason, they weren't cheering 500. They didn't have Lambos, live in penthouses. Right? They were broke, busted, and disgusted. Like, I remember going out with them. We used to go out to bars because, you know, they didn't have enough money to go out to clubs. That table they was at yesterday cost $30K to watch Drake. Like, it's crazy. You can go from this person to this person in 4 years, right? Your attitude, your posture, right? Especially when you're with your team, right? Your attitude, right? A leader's attitude is caught more quickly by your team than follows your actions. Right? So you gotta, I tell people this, I'm like, yo, if you don't believe in anything, you will fall for everything. So you have to have passion. You got to believe that this works. Believe that your life can be better. A lot of people here, right? I'm not saying everybody, but you believe in God, right? You have never seen God. You never sat down and gave God a handshake and said how are you doing, sir? Right? And you believe in him. But you guys need to start believing that your own life can get better, that your own life can improve, that your own life can get from here to here, that you can retire your mom, that you can be like, Mom, here's, 5 figures a month, you're good, right? You got to believe that you can do that no matter what anybody else says, right? So you have to know who you are and you have to know where you're going. Because I told my team this, I'm like, yo, you got to build this from your heart. Because if you don't build this with your heart, then I don't know what you're going to build it all wrong. All right. And you building it with your heart, you will pretty much leave the ripple effect that other people's going to build it with their heart. Right. Because understand that this not just changed my lives. It's countless lives that has been changed. And it's a lot of things because I can't mention incomes and all that, but people are making 5, 6, 7 figures trading on my team. And it's crazy that, they're hitting ranks, they're building income, they're learning how money works. They're learning, okay, trading is cool, but I also need a stream of income, right? The average millionaire has 7 sources of income, right? So understand that we came up upon these 3 pillars, right? The 3 pillars, right? First pillar, I learned this from Dr. Spiller. First pillar, right, is your parents, right? Your parents, they can't teach you how to make money. They can't love and care for you. Like they can love you, teach you ethics, everything, but they can't teach you how to make money unless they've made it yet. So they can't teach you how to make 6, 7, 8 figures, 9 figures if they haven't made that yet. So they are pretty much broke. They can't teach you, right? Your environment, your friends, right? Your friends can't teach you how to make money because your friends are most likely broke, right? That's the second pillar. And the third pillar is the institution education, right? The institution education was meant to keep you in formation. Like if you think about it, you are in school all day in a box, right? Taking down notes, right? I learned this from Ness, right? Binary King. Taking down notes in a box, right? Then you get behind a computer for 8 hours a day, pushing little boxes, watching the box. They keep you boxed up, right? Understand technology is pretty much outgrowing the school, outgrowing everything, because there's kids who are 14, 12 years old on YouTube making 6, 7 figures. That means anything is possible, right? Understand, getting back to your attitude, right? People, they're going to feel, right? They're going to feel your words, right? And they're going to feel your attitude. People will I got this from Brandon Boyd, right? People will hear your words, but they will feel your attitude, right? And understand, when you transform your attitude, God will transform your life, right? And one thing that you can always control no matter what's going on, right? No matter pretty much what's happening in your business, in your life, understand that the one thing you can always control about it is your attitude. Always think cup half full instead of cup half empty. Always think positive, the best out of things, because that's what you're going to start picturing. And when you get good at picturing how you want your life to be and how you see your life going, because your mind works in picturing, you're going to attract things into your life by thinking about it, right? You think, like if you close your eyes right now and you think about your mom. You're gonna see a picture of your mom, right? And when you get good at pretty much attracting things with your mind, it's just gonna happen like water flow, right? Understand that 10% of life is what happens to us, and 90% of it is how we react to it. So if you always have a positive reaction to everything, like people, the negative people are gonna just repel. They're like, damn, I can't get to his head, right? I can't get to his head. I don't want to be around him. He's too positive to be around. People will just repel because you're always positive. You got that positive vibe. And you guys gotta, like, that's what I tell people. I'm like, yo, you gotta posture up. If you posture up, because I know this works, you just have to believe that it works. Just because you aren't where you at, because you aren't chairman right now, doesn't mean you're not gonna get there. Right? Pete 600 in Mexico is a full-time income. Take a trip to a third world country and see how much better you have it than other people having it. And it's happening out there because they all right, there's a difference between being hungry and starving. You guys are just hungry. You guys aren't starving yet. There's a big difference. Because when you're hungry, you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat later. But when you're starving, is now. You want it now. All right, so understand you guys gotta be starving for this. You guys gotta be obsessed with the habits, with being positive, with helping people, with changing lives. The more you guys bring people in, you're able to teach them what you know, and you're able to learn it twice. Because you're teaching somebody else. When you teach it to somebody else, it's like learning it twice. All right? I'm gonna answer some questions. What city are you in, and do you do live meetings? I'm in Arizona right now. I still do events, right? Because if you guys want to build a business, you guys want to hit 6 figures, right? You guys want to be a chairman. What got me to chairman was doing events, right? I did events. I remember I was unranked. And before I even joined the company, it's crazy, right? I spoke to Alex Morton. I'm like, the only way I'm going to do this company is if I speak to Alex Morton, right? So I spoke to Alex Morton, and I told them exactly what ranks I was going to hit. I'm like, yo, I'm going to smash this comp plan. I'm going to hit Chairman 10. I didn't even talk about platinum. Chairman 10, Chairman 25, Chairman 100, Chairman 500. You're going to hear my name. You're going to come to New York, and you're going to help me build this out in New York as well. You're going to help my team and everything. So I visualize that. Visualize sitting next to Alex Morton. Visualize eating with him. Visualize him helping my team out, helping their mindset out, right? Visualize that. And it's now happening. You guys got to believe in the unseen. All right, so pretty much when I started off, I'm like, what did Matt and Jason do to hit? Because at that time, they were Chairman 50 going on to 100. So what did they do to get to Chairman 50? I'm like, bet. They was doing events, right? So I'm like, I'm going to do events twice a week, right? So Tuesday, Thursday was my event days, right? And one thing about this business, consistency is key. If you build it, they will come. You have to have a space for people to come in and be around the energy, be around like-minded individuals, be around positive vibes, right? Only good vibes, right? So Tuesday, Thursdays, I was doing an event even when I was unranked because I already knew how to trade. So I'm like, damn, I want to build this cash flow. So I was doing events. The event used to be about 25 to 35 minutes max. And then I always went over basic trading. I'm like, this is what you guys are getting into, right? I do not tell people to make a list until they are ready to build. Like, I'm here talking about trading first because this is pretty much, my organization is 90% customers. So I got to attend to the customers. Customers wants to trade, right? Building will come afterwards, right? Because you got to trade. This is I'm here trying to teach you how to balance both, right? And trading always got to come first because this is a trading company. If this was a health and wellness company, the product will be first, right? Be like, yo, drink this, right? Also recommend this book, right? ABCs to Success, right? By Proctor. Guys, events twice a week. I didn't stop doing it, right? That's how, because I was doing events, I was able to attract all those leaders, right? I got Manny to sign up, right? Manny and Anthony Ortiz, right? And they are Chairman 10 now. I got Cash, right? Chairman 25. Khalil Nigel, right? Chairman 10, right? And then when I got Ricky involved, Ricky didn't hit Chairman 10 for almost 2 years. But that's fine. It's as long as you get to your goal, all right, you have to give yourself time to succeed. You can't expect pretty much quick results. You're not going to get rich overnight, right? Bob Proctor, right? Guys, the secret's out, right? You guys, if you guys did not get your tickets to Dallas, right, they're going to sell out soon. Right, Bob Proctor will be in Dallas, right? So make sure you get to Dallas on September. Get your tickets now, and make sure you get not just yourself. Make sure you bring your team, because events change lives. Besides the events I was doing in New York, I knew, I'm like, bet, this is how network marketing works. Network marketing has certain fundamentals, just like trading does. Trading has technical, building has technicals as well. What do you got to do? You got to get better at skills, right? So what skills do you got to get better in order to build this business, right? You got to get better at presenting, right? If you have to get better at presenting. And the way you get better at presenting, invite your team over, even if you're starting off 3, 4, 5 people, and present in front of them, right? Because we're acting as if we're chairman already. So you got to learn how to present, right? Chairman, present. I'm going to put down the link on the chat so you guys can get this to Dallas. Right, it's Friday, September 12th, all the way to Sunday, September 15th. All right, so get your ticket. Link is in the chat. All right, make sure you guys get your ticket to Dallas. All right, information that you're gonna get from this event will change whatever situation you're in. All right, so back to the skills. Right, your skill sets. Right, skills. What do you got to get better at? Prospecting, closing deals. Right, it's a pay-to-play system. Right, you're gonna learn and earn you're gonna learn while you earn at the same time. All right, it's in a hotel. I think there's info on the website. All right, I want to make sure everybody gets their ticket. Sales ended. Okay, early birds. Damn. VIP is $250. Okay. They're running out of tickets because a lot of teams know that Bob Proctor is going. You guys get to watch him for $250 instead of for $1,500. All right, so there's a lot of value that's going to be there. All right. Skills. You got to get not just better at prospecting. You got to get better at relationship building. Right, because if you're building this to ask your chairman 500, chairman 1 million, right, you're going to think as your chairman. So you're going to build relationship for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So the people that you're bringing in, the people that you're working with, they're going to be around. So might as well. And if you don't like them, like if you don't like your team, like you guys get to choose your team. That's the beauty of it. Right, because nobody want to be around somebody negative. I completely understand that, right? But you get to build relationship. You get to help people grow. You get to teach them your mistakes, right? You got to get good at sales. You got to get good at prospecting. And when you talk to people, right, try to close them, right? But don't close them on the first encounter. Let them follow you on social media and you build a relationship. when you talk to people, don't hunt them, you farm. You're just planting seeds. All right, the more seeds you plant, the more people you talk to, eventually you're gonna get to Chairman 10. Eventually you're gonna get to Chairman 25. Eventually you're going to get to Chairman 100, right? The date and Chairman 100 hasn't just hit yet, but everybody on this call is already that rank, right? A company is about to break 100,000 customers, and it's just going to go up to 150, 200, 300, and it's just going to hit momentum, right? And you got to capitalize on it because you guys are the next faces. You on this call, you are the next chairman. You are the one that's going to be on the banner, on, I don't even know what's that called, but they have it at the events, right? Your face is going to be there. You're the next leader. You're the next person that they look up to, right? Also, when you're building this, right, understand that you got to think in multiplication, right? You can't think in addition, right? Broke people think in addition. Wealthy people think in multiplication. So when you're building, you got to think on duplicating your team. You got to teach your team, because if your team present it like you present it, and everybody on your team knows how to present, then you have people presenting here, people presenting here, people presenting here, and you presenting here, right? If I teach people how to do events, I have events here, 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 while I'm doing my events. Multiplication, right? There's events going on in New York, even without me being there. 2, 3 a time, 2 to 3 events a day, 4 or 5 webinars, all right? And understand the people that you are working with, especially your leaders, your friends, understand that even if they're strangers, you still got to figure out like their pain, their why, right? Because your why is what hurts you. Your why will help you, right? And you got to find out their pain, right? You got to find out their goals. You got to know their goals. You got to make sure they write their goals. Make sure they know where they're going, right? I want to answer a few questions because I'm gonna just go to the Q&A. My biggest problem with building, my biggest problem with building, right? My biggest problem with building is that everybody wants to be a customer, right? So I got to get people out of their eggshell, and I got to develop them and mold them into leaders because they just want to be traders. I'm like, bro, listen, if you really want, because cool, you can make a lot of money trading, but money isn't everything, right? What if you have all the money? You have to look for fulfillment, right? Because money is there, but what about your fulfillment? Are you happy with the money? Are you happy how you making the money? Why are you the only one that knows the skill set and you being selfish and not sharing it to other people? It's our responsibility to let other people know that they can learn how to trade and live that type of life, right? Every single problem I noticed in my business, always the solution was let's say if one of my leaders left, which is not gonna happen because they're like my brother. We're in this till everybody hits Chairman 500, right? But I've had like plan of 1K, plan of 2K leave, and they always come back because I get new leaders. I'm like, bro, like I try to help you, and I'm telling you because I know there's nothing else out there that's better than this company. You need to just believe in me and believe in the process, right? For example, Ray, right? He just hit plan of 5K, right? January, he wanted to quit. January, I had a conversation with him. He was planning 1K in January, and he's been in the business for like a year plus, right? I'm like, yo, Ray, if you want more, you got to become more. You got to do more, right? Don't wish this was easier. Wish you was better. From here, 6 months, January, February, March, April, May, 5 months, plan a 5K. about a smash chairman. Right? Why? Because he shifted his mindset. He's like, damn, he's right. I can't wish this was easier. This is it. People are hitting chairman 10, chairman 25. Why are they hitting it and not me? Because they're doing things, they're better at this skill set than you are. All right? When you guys do events, you guys don't have to do big events, home meetings. All right? My events, I used to book them on breather rooms, so breathers.com. And I remember my worst event, I had one guest show up and about 2 people from my team show up. And I paid $250 for the room. And I kept going. I'm like, bet, we're going to do another event Thursday. It was a Tuesday. We're going to do another event Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to keep going and going. Nothing's going to stop us because we already know where we're going. So no matter how bad things look now, just know that when you get to your goal, you're going to look back and understand why everything played out the way it played out. All right. What we are doing is part of network marketing. Somebody asked, is what we are doing part of network marketing? Yes and no. If you're a customer, no. If you're a customer and an IBO, yes. All right. Network marketing seems to be one of the highest paid profession. All right. Do you have any tips for recruiting on Instagram? One major tip I have for recruiting on Instagram is do not post your link on your bio. You do not want to do that. You do not want to post your link on your bio. All right. So if your link is on your bio right now, go to your Instagram, take it off. If you want to target people specifically, whatever you have in common, right, and you're able to relate to other people, right, you need to search up baseball. Who's your favorite baseball player? Jeter and A-Rod. Right, so if Jeter and A-Rod are my favorite baseball player, then I'm going to go to their Instagram, go to their last picture, and I'm going to follow those people because those people have something in common. We both like A-Rod. We both like Jeter. Right? Just like trading, you got to look for common things, right? Things to line up, things to check off. Check, check, check. Right? And everybody on this call, it doesn't take a lot to follow people and unfollow them. Follow people and unfollow them. You got to cycle your Instagram so your Instagram can hit 10,000 followers. Once your Instagram's hit 10,000 followers, you're able to do swipe up, right? So understand that, you know, if you guys want to build on the Instagram, regardless, your pictures got to be good, right? Look at any chairman Instagram. Look at Matt Rosa, Jason Brown. Look at my Instagram. Look at Alex Moore Instagram. Right, and look at their results. So you're not gonna be spamming. You're gonna post. You're gonna go out there, take pictures, do events, take pictures. Swipe up is when you're able to post up something on your story, and you're able to pretty much, hey guys, what's going on? If you guys want to get on the last 5 minutes of this call, swipe up, right? And you guys, I'm able to add the link right there. And I'm able to pretty much have people swipe up, right? Okay, so this one says, bro, my parents trying to bring me down saying that this is impossible. You have any advice? Focus on trading. Focus on trading. Get some results from trading. The building will build itself, all right? Your parents, if your parents don't have what you want, you can't listen to them anything financially. That's my opinion. I can't listen to my mom. My mom told me the same thing. And now look at me now, right? She doesn't say that anymore. Right? What makes you get up in the morning? What makes me get up is what makes me get up every single morning is that I know there's people out there that needs this. There's people that need my help. There's people that is going through the same thing. There's people on my team that's going through the same thing that I'm going through. I got to help them out, right? I got to show them, hey, look, I did it that way, but this is how you really got to do it, right? These are the mistakes I went through. Don't go through my mistakes. The title of the book is The ABCs of Success by Proctor. Right? You guys don't have to have results in order to post up on social media. You guys can be like, hey guys, started off my trading journey, learning these beautiful skill sets. We'll be empowering lives. Right? How to become a great presenter? You guys practice, go to a Dunkin' Donuts. I got good at presenting. I was with my team in Dunkin' Donuts. Right? I still remember it was me, Ness, Lou, and Dunkin' Donuts. Just practicing how to present. And I presented in front of them, and they gave me constructive criticism on how I can become better. So you got to do that with your team, with the first 3 people, with the first 5, 10 people, 20 people you guys brought in. Practice in front of them. Get better at it. Right? I had no support from my family. I got the support now, but I didn't have it before. Right? How do you improve presenting for events? There's no, you have to do, and if you want to do this big event and you want to not get nervous when it's a room of 100, 200, 300 people, you got to practice with smaller events. You got to do events Tuesday, Thursdays, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Like, you got to be out there doing events. Practice makes permanent, right? This applies to Facebook too. Facebook, yes. Facebook is the same way, right? Understand that you guys are gonna get paid for being you, right? Guys, I got 1 minute on this call. I appreciate everybody on this call. And pretty much, if you guys wanna, I'm gonna go live on my Instagram, and I'm gonna give away pretty much 5 banners, 5 You Should Be Trading banners. So follow me on Instagram. I'll type it down, and I'm gonna give away 5 banners. Actually, damn, I want to go eat. But I'm going to give away 5 banners on live. And then on live, I'm going to teach you how you can win 5 more. So I appreciate everybody for hopping on this call. Guys, let's get it. I'm live on Instagram right now. I appreciate it. Guys, I'll see you guys at Dallas. I'll see you guys at ANMP if you guys are going there. Let's get it, guys. It's Chairman season. Let's take this company to the top because we are the best. All right? Appreciate everybody for hopping on. Peace. Live on IG right now.